Hello, class. This is Professor Suarez bringing you class 4, and today we're going to discuss the social marketing or social media marketing plan. So what's great about this is it takes everything that we've discussed so far and kind of brings it together into one gelled plan. And what we're going to look to do is kind of run through the basic pieces of a social media marketing plan, as well as the components that are most important using the social media template that I'm using right now. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is look at the brand. Um, for example purposes, we're going to utilize the personal finance and professional social media site that I'm using now at Professor Suarez III. And as you can see here, some of the images are particularly about what I do and the different advice I give on personal finance. And you know, I started this as soon as I started the class because I figured it'd be a great way to show some of the techniques in a practical way that we learned in this class, right? Um, so as far as the brand is I'm a relatively young professional working out the best practices in personal finance goals and career success. The demographic of who I'm reaching out to in the social media site is really what I'm really asking is who are the people who are viewing the material that I put up. And based on the metrics, young professional men, primarily in the financial sector. The second is single women with children who are also looking for a secondary source of income, and high school graduates and college freshmen. That's primarily the people who are viewing the material that I put up or the content that I put up, right? Um, so the next piece is popular content. Um, So the way that I gauge this based on the social media site is based on the views and the likes here, right? In Facebook, you get likes. In Instagram, you get views. Snapchat, I believe it's also views and how many people comment on it, right? Those are key metrics to determining how popular your content is. For other social media sites like Tumblr, you get reposts. Twitter, you get retweets. Those are things that are going to tell you what are ideas that catch uh, traction, right? And in your method of doing posting and developing content, those are going to be the key metrics to seeing which ones your clients or your potential clients are gravitating towards. Okay, uh, so you're going to also want to highlight the services of the product that you're doing the social media marketing for. With this one, as you can see here, the services are online courses in personal finance. If there's enough traction, another option that I have is referrals and sponsorship. I could actually sell the space or the time on my social media feed to different banks or different financial services to promote that. And also consulting and educational program development. If there are colleges or high schools that are looking to develop a personal finance course or personal finance program, I do have experience in that, and I could give my expertise in that, right? So all in all, this social media site or this professional brand is really to expose myself as a professional and also to develop content that's going to really give me the exposure I need to make more money, right? So let's go ahead and get to the next piece. As far as the amount of views, right now I have about 15 likes, and I just started at the beginning of the year to use this professional site to develop this this aspect of my life. But let's go ahead and see what else we could set up, and what are some of the things that we're going to need to make this more successful. So the first piece of a social media marketing plan, or any plan, is an internal analysis. And what that is you take account of everything that's going on within either the company that you're doing the social media marketing plan for, or the product, right? So based on an internal analysis, you look at the position of the brand. Is it going to be a brand that's popular, or getting popular, or is it something that hasn't been exposed to the public yet and you're looking to develop traction? Is it an old product that has long been forgotten about and you're looking to reintroduce it to a new market? All these things are pieces that come into focus when you're looking at the position of the brand and where it's at. The other aspect is, as I put here, I'm looking to advertise professional and sustainable options grounded in truth and integrity that benefit anyone who's looking at it. So I'm really looking to create valuable content as far as what I put out, not just entertainment or things to distract people, right? This is really looking to add value to people's lives who continue to follow me or look at my content. So I'm looking to generously provide knowledge and information, and I'm also looking to generate revenue on practicality and execution, as well as access to mentoring, coaching, and training for finances. So that's the internal analysis of what this product is looking to promote, or this campaign is looking to promote. Now, as far as the external analysis, you're really wanting to look at the environment that this social media campaign is working in. So as far as these types of content, YouTube has seen a large push for the content. So you're seeing a lot of people, professors, intellectuals, people with a lot of wisdom and experience really vlogging and putting out that information and that content. And as far as the people who consume it, it's mostly male driven, right? So a lot of men, young men, are looking onto YouTube to get this wisdom, because it's free knowledge and it's practical knowledge, right? A lot of how-to videos, a lot of videos on personal experience, a lot of celebrity interviews on how they became successful. All these things are competition to the content that I'm putting out. The second piece is colleges and universities are starting to post classes and lessons. If you take, for example, MIT, they have a website where they post videos of their old classrooms on engineering and mathematics. So a person who's looking to perhaps get some practical knowledge for free can go to these sites and get some very good knowledge and good understanding of these concepts. Of course, it's obsolete and old information, but if you're smart, you're able to take some of the tangible stuff and apply it to your field or your career in a creative way. As far as demands for online courses, there's an uptick. So it does show that there's potential to have more students and more participants in my class, seeing as how more and more people are looking to have opportunities to take these courses, right? And as far as the competition, you have what I'm seeing as far as financial advisor or financial management competition on Instagram. The people who are competing against me are Bitcoin, Forex investors, scam artists, financial advisors, retail bankers. All these people have social media sites, and all these people are doing the same thing as far as looking to get the attention of the people who are doing what I'm doing as well. So when you look at the environment, you do an external analysis. What I did was I looked at, what's going on, who else is in the mix of getting clients and getting their attention, and who do I have to compete with as far as content. And this is very important aspects to take into account to make sure that I'm developing the most effective social media marketing strategy. So then the third aspect is a SWOT analysis. And what a SWOT analysis is you're reviewing the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Over here, you see I have a Venn diagram about the SWOT analysis for Professor Suarez Instagram feed. And here I list some of the strengths. From what I noticed, what my strengths are is my culture, my youth, my energy, and my knowledge. And people are somewhat drawn to that. My weakness is because of my youth and my young age, I'm limited in resources as far as money and timing, because I'm doing a lot. So, you know, for example, this last week I wasn't able to post. So that obviously makes me have a weakness as far as the amount of content that I'm posting and putting up and sharing with everyone. Opportunities, there are major life events and major events that are going on in my career and that I'm working on with the school that really give an opportunity to create really good content. And some of the major threats are the options that people have that are available to them, and the lack of trust that people may find to someone who is talking about finances. Because from what I've experienced, just being on social media for about a month already, there are a lot of scam artists who are looking to make a quick buck on everybody else who's looking to make money. So it's very easy to be a bit critical, and I think I'm glad that people should be critical of how they're being approached by these financial experts or these financial gurus, but that does pose as a threat to what would impede upon the growth of how many people are actually viewing my content and actually participating with the social media sites that I have, right? So the next aspect that's very important is the marketing outline. So that really so what we did before is encapsulate the environment that we're working in and the limitations and the boundaries that we have to work around to really make an effective impact on our product and for our client. So some of the key components that we're going to be looking at now is what's the objective of this campaign, and what may happen and what you're going to realize in your careers is that there may be one or two campaigns for the same product, or even more than that, or you find that you may be marketing to different people at different times and have to develop different strategies for each of those groups. So because of that, it's important to have an objective which defines the overall goal of the campaign, but also when the campaign ends, right? You're having a strategy to meet that goal, developing some other constraints besides just the one that you're working in, maybe like the product pricing. Also having alternative strategies to recruit advocates and recruit people into the cause, like promotions and sales. And then finally, the biggest piece and the most important piece is the execution. What are you actually going to do? And how do you determine whether that's successful or not? And all these things are encompassed in the marketing campaign and the analysis. So the objectives that I highlighted here, and when it comes to objectives, you want them to be specific, you want them to be measurable, and you want them to be tangible. Meaning that once you meet the objective, there's a clear way for you to be able to scratch it off. Like, okay, I see that. Boom, I can check that off. So the first thing is obviously increase subscription by tenfold. So right now I'm at 170. So by the end of this campaign, I should have 1,700. And this is a fairly realistic approach, because what it encapsulates is In regards to the learning curve, you'll find that you don't have to spend a substantial amount of time to get a lot of learning done and a lot of experience done. And as far as exposure, if you do your campaign effectively and you associate the strategies that work in your campaign, there should be no reason why you can't attain a large amount of exposure and market penetration, right? So increasing the subscription tenfold isn't an unreasonable goal, primarily if you develop advocates for your cause and for what you want to do. The second is develop gripping content. So what that means is, as far as the design, I want to make sure that whatever I put out there is compelling enough that people want to share it with others, right? And the third aspect is to generate revenue. And if the content that I'm developing allows money to start coming in, that's a very important piece. And that's all these things, again, are very easily able to determine whether they're successes or failures, because I could develop metrics that measure the success. So increasing subscriptions, I would know if I was able to increase it tenfold, if by the time the end of the campaign ends, I only have 500 subscriptions throughout my social media, right? So that's actually very, very clear cut. Developing gripping content, if I only get maybe 100 views, then it's not gripping enough. If I get 1,000 views or 5,000 views, that actually changes that changes a little bit, and that actually determines that the content that I'm pushing forward is actually making a dent and people are seeing it. And the third piece is generating revenue. As soon as I see an uptick in my bank account, that's already verification that money is actually coming in. So these are all important pieces that are going to help me to focus and hone in on how I put up information on what I'm promoting. So now the strategy highlights how am I going to do it. So we just covered why we're doing the campaign, right? So the strategy is really focused on how are we going to get from point A to point B. So the first aspect that we take into account is content-driven approach, which means that the primary way to get to those three goals of generating revenue, increasing traction, which is another way of saying increasing the amount of people that follow you, and also increasing the amount of attention I get for each piece that I put up, it really requires that I focus on the content. From what I notice, animated commercials for courses might be a good approach, or might be a good idea, because a lot of people are drawn to the animation and can relate to it on a different level. And it's artistic, so it draws the eye. Posting classes on YouTube is also another aspect that gives people exposure to what I do and how I teach. Advice along with self, another piece that I noticed based on the content that I put up is people really like to see me and what I have to say. So posting it together are good ideas and good aspects that I could do. And then the last piece is updates from more local events. So participating in some of the local events that are held around Bergen County could really benefit me and increasing my exposure. Streamlining registration is really a matter of redesigning the websites and splash pages that I have and connecting them to perhaps the pieces that could generate revenue for me, like my online courses or books or aspects that the people who trust what I say and trust what I'm putting out could actually buy, right? The other piece, target market. So going back to serviceable, attainable market, right? It's very specific. So here I have young men who are high school seniors in northern Bergen County interested in making money and becoming affluent, early in life and also interested in saving money. So it's very, very specific group of people, right? So the population that's like this is probably about 20 to 50 people. So I'm advertising specifically to those people. And the reason, again, kind of what I stated before, is you're marketing to the fringes, the outliers, the people who are on the outside, who are going to be not just first adopters of what you're putting out there, but also potentially advocates. These are people who are excited about finance, who could potentially tell their friends who are somewhat excited or not excited, and get them interested in the content that I'm putting out. And these people are also going to help me to reach the serviceable, obtainable market. And these are just young people in high school or in college who reside in New Jersey, interested in saving money. And the total obtainable market is people interested in personal finance. So that's who I'm marketing towards, and that's who I'm campaigning towards, right? The young men. But overall, the people who are going to follow me aren't just going to be young men. It's going to be the serviceable obtainable market and the total obtainable market. And the last piece about strategy is promotion and giveaways. So one aspect that I may want to do is set up dinners at the college or at the universities to really talk about personal finance. So giving them free food or setting up events that, you know, help to get these kids fed and also give these kids fed with some knowledge could be ways to also promote and campaign for the social media site. Another promotion or giveaway could be gift cards. But, you know, as far as products are concerned, you're not limited to just these two options. Some people will do sales or do special contests that actually help them to recruit people. And some of the contests could be repost my post on your page for a chance to win X amount of dollars or a sale on these things. And these things help to push what your content is on a larger scale. So implementation, which is kind of the big component, the big piece, this is what is going to be done to fit the strategy and to fit the objective. So the first thing that has to be done is I have to develop content. So taking excerpts of videos, drawings, and animated commercials, developing that, posting classes, and you know, really reviewing the postings to make sure that they fit the campaign, developing advice selfies, and really developing the promotional content. That's really going to be the first piece, right? Then the second piece is participating in local events. So going to these events like holiday events and church events, religious events, and really providing my services, whether it's free or at a fee to these different locations, could really increase my exposure, as well as increase the followership and people who could give testimonials about what I do and what I offer. The second piece is sponsor restaurant events. I could look to have somebody who believes in what I'm doing to sponsor or to provide their space for me to have events on personal finance. And that could come out of my marketing budget if I have it. But if you're going to be working for any client or working for a firm, they're going to have a marketing budget that encompasses, paying for promotion, paying for flyers, or taking people out, taking key partners out to really help to promote the product or the service that you're trying to sell. And the other idea is co-sponsored financial events. I had a student who currently has a decent amount of followership, and they're looking to get to that next level. Once you get to a certain point, having somebody sponsor you or partner with you could potentially take you to that next level. And the benefit of being co-sponsored is you give that person exposure and you increase their revenue stream. But at the same time, if you develop a good partnership, you're also going to increase your revenue stream as well. So it's a win-win at times to partner up with people who have access to more of the network or more of the advocates that could potentially increase your traction and your outreach. And the last piece is to make sure that I'm updating the people following me. So I have a Shark Tank style event that I'm organizing now called the Bergen Pitch, and we're gonna actually run it out of Bergen Community College. We're gonna run it in our Meadowlands campus. So right now we're looking to set it up and get the approval of the deans and the academic advisors. But the other piece that we're looking to do is to get sponsorship from private investors and private sponsors. So that's a big thing that's going on, and we're looking to set that up. The other aspect is we're looking to also set up scholarships for high school students who are looking to get their associate's degree early. And that's a big component that I'm pushing forth and looking to set up. And the last piece is also fundraisers to help get more scholarships for our business department and our business majors to help pay for some of the expensive things like schooling and books. So these are all key things that as I'm doing it, I should update my followership to let them know that, I'm hard at work and I'm doing big things. And as far as the source of the information and pretty much the key outline that I use to develop this, I'm actually looking at a book right now called Social Media Marketing by Tracy L. Tootin and Michael R. Solomon. But if you want, you could actually Google marketing proposals and marketing campaigns and marketing strategies, and you'll find that there are outlines that could be potentially used for small business, could be used for major corporations, and even on some of the public information. So some of the Fortune 500 companies that you research, they have public information that they put out that really outlines their strategy and how they increase revenue and how they increase the money that's coming in. So the information's out there, guys. So if you wanna look at some of the different ideas out there, not just my own, you do have the liberty to do that. But I found that this book provided some pretty good information. You could look it up. You could even check it out in the library. The one I'm looking at is the 3rd edition, but I'm sure they have older editions. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns as far as what I discussed here, or even any ideas that you may have about marketing or social media marketing in particular, you can email me or get in touch with me through text. Again, it's Professor Suarez giving you some important information about social media marketing. You guys take care.